Professor, what are you gonna cook? What are you gonna cook? It's Saturday, Professor. It's time to cook some Pokemon. You know, I've got an idea, but I think we need to take a field trip. We're gonna go on a field trip. We're gonna go find out exactly how hot dogs are made. And I know what you're thinking here. You're thinking, Professor, hot dogs? Why would you make hot dogs? Hot dogs aren't Pokemon. Aren't they? Aren't they one just little mad experiment away from being Pokemon? So let's go and we'll tour this hot dog factory and we'll see just exactly how hot dogs are made. Then we'll come back to the kitchen and I'll whip you up something nice. So join me as we tour John Morell's hot dog factory. Enjoy.
Hot dogs are an all-American fare, but most likely it was German sausage makers who first came up with the idea. In fact, there are reports of German immigrants selling them from push carts in New York's Bowery as far back as the 1860s. A century and a half later, hot dogs are still the #1 treat on the street.
Yes. Hot dogs.
Traditional hot dogs are made from a mix of pork, beef, and chicken.
Oh, okay.
The cuts they start with are called trimmings.
We got pork, beef, and chicken trimmings. So we could use either oinkling or we can use Torchic line or Tauros. That's very close to steak. I mean, you could really just use any kind of steak, but it said beef specifically. So I think that would work out. So Tauros, combustion, and oinkling, I guess, because pork, beef, and chicken.
Pieces of meat left over from cutting steaks or pork chops. The trimmings are ground the same way butchers chop up hamburger meat, by pushing the cuts through grated metal plates.
Oh, okay. So you just make some super hamburger. That's what I'm seeing here. We grab our meats, our pork and our beef, and we make hamburger meat out of it. And then from there, we just grab our chicken and extrude it as well, I guess.
Processed chicken trimmings are added to the ground meat.
Yep.
Followed by food starch.
Okay.
Salt.
All right.
And other flavorings.
That's Gardenar.
These flavorings vary depending on where the hot dogs are to be sold, because people in different regions have different tastes.
And that's spices and shit. All right.
Water is sprayed into the mix, and everything is blended together.
Fucking
in a big
hot dog
vat.
water, boys. Oh, that's gross looking.
Corn syrup adds a dash of sweetness.
Okay.
The addition of even more water helps to disperse the ingredients and make the hot dogs
syrup
juicier.
And
another machine then purees the meat batter into a fine emulsion and vacuums out any air.
Oh, it looks like a chocolate shake. Oh, God. It's a meaty chocolate shake. Ugh.
Long rolls of cellulose tubing are loaded into the stuffing machine.
And then things get better right here, because it's just striped hot dogs.
It pumps the meat puree into these casings, twisting it every 5 1/4 inches.
Meat puree sounds gross, but okay, yeah, that's what it is.
It takes just 35 seconds to make a chain of hot dogs that would span a soccer field twice. Then, 3 of those hot dog chains are linked together to make an even longer string, and they're loaded several at a time into another machine which drapes the hot dogs onto moving racks. The process is carefully timed so that a twist always lands on the bar.
I like this fucking jazzy ass music they got going on in the background. What the fuck?
Shower, then into an oven with several cooking
Club
zones.
music, club hot
The
dog
liquid
over
smoke
here.
seeps through the casing and adds flavor to the dogs as they bake.
What the fuck?
Hot out of the oven, these franks are drenched in cold, salty water to chill them in preparation for packaging. The hot dogs then file down to an unloading zone.
Okay.
Here, a machine pulls them off the bars.
I mean, we
onto
ain't
a
gotta be
conveyor.
doing all that shit. We're gonna be making it at home, or in the kitchen or whatever. But you know, still.
Then, the hot dogs slide off the conveyor into metal containers. If you've been wondering about those black stripes on the casings,
Yes.
all is about to be revealed.
Okay. Don't leave me waiting.
The stripe is a marker attached to the casing. The absence of a black stripe means the hot dog is cooked and ready for packaging.
Oh, what the fuck?
Inside the peeler machine, a tiny knife slits each casing along the top. Then, steamy air blows the casings right off the dogs. This machine peels 700 hot dogs a minute.
Jesus.
An inspector makes sure the casing has been completely removed and that there are no defects in the dogs.
No defect
Then,
dogs
it's into a
here.
device
All
that
right.
looks like a plastic bicycle
We got
chain.
top
The
quality,
sprockets
top
position the
notch
hot dogs for
Franks
packaging.
over at wherever the fuck I said this
This
place
factory
was.
manufactures an incredible 300,000 hot dogs an hour.
300,000 hot dogs per hour. And this is straight from how it's made. Let's go back to the kitchen and we'll whip up some hot dogs for you guys. All right, folks, now that we're back in the kitchen, we're ready to whip up some killer hot dogs that have your taste buds evolving faster than Magikarp at a rare candy shop. So let's go to our cutting board. We'll see what we need. Okay, now that we're back at the cutting board, we can start our base grind. You're going to start with some juicy Grumpig. These fat porkers are fucking great for, you know, pig meat. Great base grind. Same thing for oinkling. If you don't have any Grumpig in your area, you can use oinkling. A little fancier region also, a little bit more fancier of a pig. You can toss in some Tauros because that's going to be our beef. Tauros is just the most versatile meat I think I can think of in the Pokemon world. But you're going to want the wilder the better. More higher level the better. Make sure this fucking thing, it has seen some shit. Then for a little bit of feathered finesse, we're going to grab a combustion. And if you don't have combustion, no worries. I understand that's kind of a rarer kind of Pokemon, so you could also use Pidgey. Pidgeys, you might need to gather a few of them. Either one that might be dumb enough to wander into your trap is good for this dish either way. So we're going to grind all of these together into a glorious meat concoction of Pokemon proportions. And then we're going to case it with oinkling skin casing. Now, to knock this dish up a notch and add a little bit of spice to your life, I mean, who doesn't want a little bit of spice, am I right? You can use, instead of those aforementioned pig Pokemon, you could use a Tepig. Now, this is going to add a little bit of spice, and it is chef's kiss, all right? Now, mixing this sizzling swine with combustion and Tauros will give you this amazing spicy sausage that'll torture taste buds hotter than a Magmar. Now, for the piece of resistance. Slow smoke my dogs for 6 hours under a Tepig flames using the Nuzleaf as a way of getting a little bit of nuttiness into our dish here, into our hot dogs. And also, of course, we salt and pepper our hot dogs for seasoning, and also use our crushed red Scoville peppers for a little bit of extra spice to this concoction we made. Now these top tier top dogs will be even making a Gengar lick its ghostly chops. There's a million ways to craft these bad boys, but this one right here is my recipe that I personally love. Oinkling meat, Pidgey for texture, Taurost for the heft, and then we cease it all up in a crispy Embor skin that, I mean, come on, like, why would you waste that perfectly good hide? Am I right? Voila, we got some Pokemon hot dogs. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share me on your favorite social medias. And also, don't forget your bun. Dash bun. I don't know of any other Pokemon that are bred Pokemon, but Dash Bun is a perfect bred Pokemon. So as soon as you make your delicious Pokedogs, you could grab yourself a Dash Bun and cook that bad boy. You have a perfect hot dog. Thanks for watching, and bony appetite.